Hi guys, I am so happy to be here at NFT.NYC. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Katie Langhammer. I started the Brooklyn NFTs TikTok account back in December, so that was going on 7 months ago. So 7 months ago now, I had no idea how to get into this space, and I really didn't know how to get into this space sustainably. So today we're going to be talking about how to onboard beginners into the space via Eco-NFTs. And when I say Eco-NFTs, I mean NFTs minted on carbon neutral blockchains that use proof of stake. All right, so as I said, I'm a TikToker. You're going to see me up here. You're going to see me a lot in this presentation. I call my community the little rock stars. It's kind of how I kicked off everything. So here we are. There are multiple points of entry to onboard people into the NFT space. So how many people in this room, by a show of hands, how many of you have been in the space for a year? And you guys are degens, you're really into it? Okay, cool. What about 6 months? Awesome. 3 months? Just getting into the space, 1 month? All right, cool. So we're gonna take it all the way back, how to onboard people into the space who have no idea how to even get into the space, because that was me, that was some of you guys a year ago, that was some of you guys 6 months ago, that was some of you guys, this month. So we have a few different carbon neutral blockchains. Solana is the blockchain that I ultimately minted my NFT collection on. I use SolSea as my marketplace. I think you saw earlier that was an Electrolady. I see some holders in the room of my Electroladies. So let's get into it. Nope, it's supposed to be posing back here. Okay, so when we're talking about onboarding people into the space, we want to make sure that your social media is really beginner friendly. I know Twitter especially is a space where degens, we get heavy in Twitter spaces. TikTok is an amazing platform for beginners who aren't super nuanced in the space. They have no idea what to do. It's a great platform to onboard beginners into the space. And what I do on my TikTok account, I'm bringing everything back into layman's terms. I'm using a lot of real life applications on how do we get these people into this space, just bringing it all the way back to square one. Because especially now, right now, NFTs, crypto, it's a volatile space, and when you add on what people think initially about the environmental impacts with a lot of false reporting on proof of work, yes, it does use a lot of energy, but when we're comparing it against traditional banking systems, blockchains like Ethereum still do not consume as much energy as our traditional banking systems. Great, so being able to describe proof of work versus proof of stake, again, in a very layman's terms. So we're bringing it all the way back. So we all know, or at least the people who have been in the space for 6 months to a year, we're using consensus on our blockchains. Ethereum blockchain is using these really heavily integrated puzzles. It's using a lot more work. So what I say to my followers is when we're looking at proof of work is working harder. It's consuming more energy. Yes, that's something to understand. But then proof of stake, it's, this is not going to be a very, I don't know what I want to say there, but proof of stake, how I describe it to my followers is we're kind of outsourcing, we're staking the energy. We're not using our mining to, mine Solana. Sorry, we're validating Solana on the blockchain. And I like to remind people that, in everyday consumption, when we're using Google searches, a Solana transaction uses about the same amount of energy, a little bit more than 2 Google searches. So that's how we can bring people into the space when we're using comparison versus Ethereum uses as much energy as a small country, because we know that that's not going to get people into the space. We're using a ton of energy and a lot of other electronic biases that we're just trying to get people into this space, and we're trying to get them curious. So we're not using scare tactics. Again, we're bringing it back. Solana, I know what's going on with Solana. I love Solana, the Solana community, the Solana NFTs are great. Who knows what's going to happen? I would love to ride the Sol train, but we got to stick with it on other proof-of-stake networks. Also, Ethereum, I think the last panel had a great transition into how are we bringing people into this space. And I think it's really easy to point fingers and get really defensive being the NFT space and say, NFTs, crypto is not consuming as much energy as, let's say, fast fashion. And it's super easy to point fingers, and I did it before, and I said, Ethereum is still more efficient than our traditional banking source or banking network. And we are at a time where we're super early into this space. So we're at a time where hopefully Ethereum, I'm sure we all have our fingers crossed, we'll be solving more solutions to become more energy efficient, and we would all love to see that. So we're in an industry where we are really going to be the movers and shakers, and we can get ahead of this. So we can point fingers to, established industries who are consuming a ton of energy, and this is a new industry. This is new, information that we're receiving, so we need to get ahead of it. We need to make positive, environmentally changing solutions. Great. So being gentle with environmental activists. So because I am on TikTok, because I'm in the public eye, I think I have about 50K followers, 55K followers right now. It really depends on when a video goes viral and it hits. But I do get a lot of backlash on people just spamming my TikToks and telling me I'm destroying the planet, I'm destroying the world. And we're not, but we need to be gentle with environmentalists who are really into this space. And again, they've been up against industries and they've been fighting climate change for a long time. They're tired. Environmentalists are so tired. And this is a new industry that's just coming and it's consuming more energy. And we're going to continue, whether it's blockchain, whether it's Web3, whether, I don't want to even talk about Web5, but, whatever is in the future, whatever new technology or new industry that keeps emerging in the future, it's going to consume technology. So again, it's getting ahead of how can we use NFTs sustainably, how can we pivot and get ahead of this. We're all super early, but it's cutting them some slack, being gentle with environmentalists, and I think just that everyday person, bringing it back to how can you get into this space as a beginner, making it super friendly, using real-life applications in your socials, being open to have conversations with people. It's going to be changing. All right, that is my thank you side. So I had not a lot of sides. I mean, I'm a TikToker, so I'm used to, my at least 3-minute long videos. But it's been really fun getting into this space and just the amount of people who are so curious. I do love looking out into the audience. I see a lot of female faces out there, which we love to see. And yeah, give you, if this was a Twitter space, I'd be like throwing up some hearts. Yes. And, just going back to onboarding people into this space, especially onboarding women into this space. TikTok followers, I have about 77% of my followers are women. And I think I was able to speak to women, especially bringing it back to layman's terms, using a lot of real-life applications, and being like, hey guys, I'm a woman in this space. I didn't know what I was doing 7 months ago. Since then, I've minted, sold out a collection, gained all of these followers on TikTok. It's not that hard to get into this space. And as I've gotten into this space and I've gone down the rabbit hole, yes, I minted my first collection on Solana, but Solana is a platform where as I'm getting deeper into, what is the true value of decentralization and what are some Web3 platforms that are still technically a bridge between Web 2, Solana is one of those blockchains that is more of a bridge between Web 3. It is Web 2. It is more of a blockchain. It's backed by a lot of VCs. So what am I going to explore next? That's not something for beginners to get into the space. I think I started with art first and sustainability first. So I was an artist first, made my Electro Ladies collection, which are up on the screen, found out about Solana, documented my journey on TikTok, made sure I was bringing everything back into layman's terms, being super friendly, just really building a community that could ask questions and be curious. And I think that's what everyone in this room wants to do, because how many of you non-NFT friends have people who are really coming to you with deep, serious questions? If you have more than 5 people who are not in this space but who really want to pick your brain, raise your hand. Amazing. Because personal close friends, and I mean this is a census of 1, my personal friends, they see me on TikTok and they're like, so cool, you went viral. Still don't want to know what NFTs are. Amazing. They love it when I use the sounds and I do my little TikTok dances. But all right, guys, I'm at 39 seconds. So if anyone has a singular question, I'll try to be short, be quick. No questions. All right, I guess I covered everything, and you guys are going to go and you're going to onboard all your friends who have no idea what an NFT is. getting into the space. Cool. All right.